Uh, First of all, thanks everybody for being here. I know during these COVID times, we've done a lot of Zooms and we're getting a little sick of them, but it's actually great to see all the faces that are here today. As you saw last night, we had the NBA draft. It's one of the most exciting things for us in basketball. It's a way to improve your team. It's a way to potentially make trades and identify talent that you're interested in. And as you go through your process, you hope that your players that you're active to get are there. The one thing I can say about this draft is that we got two fantastic kids, and as a way of introduction, I'd like to introduce you guys to Chris Duarte from the University of Oregon and Isaiah Jackson from the University of Kentucky. The draft was very active. There was a lot of moving parts, but we were able to really maneuver and move up to get Isaiah, and a lot of credit goes to our scouting staff for getting us prepared for that, led by Ryan Carr, and then was executed and really worked the phones, Chad Buchanan and Kelly Crosskoff and Ted Wu. So really excited to be here today. We got two young kids and a couple people I'd like to recognize. Charles Briscoe, Chris's agent, was phenomenal to work with. Thank you very much for your part in this. And Drew Morrison, where's Drew? Drew back there. Thank you very much. Appreciate all the work and helping through this process. So with that, we'll open it up for questions.
Hey, Chris, I'm Bob Kravitz with The Athletic here in Indianapolis. Can you tell us a little bit more about your son and how his birth has changed you in your life?
Well, first, how you doing? First of all, his name is Christopher Jr. He was born in 2020, right when COVID hit. So I got the chance to go home and spend 5 months with him. That boy, I love that boy. He make me work harder. Day in and day out. He make me push, every day. I love him so much, and I'm just really proud and happy to be a dad. Man, Charles Briscoe helped me out on that. It was easy to find it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Jeremiah Johnson with Pacers TV back here. On the notes, Coach Cronin of UCLA said you're the best defensive guard in the country. Where would you attribute your defensive skills? When did that develop? And what are your strengths on that end of the floor?
Well, I took a big step when I got to Oregon. Coach Dana really helped me out defensively, He really talked to me about playing defense because defense travel and defense win games. And you got to be able to stay in front of guard if you want to play at the highest level. So I took that, and that was my main focus.
Hey, Chris, Kevin Brockway, CNH Newspapers, Indiana. I heard or read yesterday that you could throw a baseball 90 miles an hour, or you used to, when you were at Northwest Florida. I'm just curious, growing up in the Dominican, when did kind of basketball become a path, and was there kind of a crossroads between whether you're going to be a baseball player or a basketball player? Or?
Well, every Dominican kid dreams is to make it to the major league. Back home, I grew up playing baseball. My dad, who raised me, he was always there, making sure I was doing the right thing on and off the baseball field. And then I just stopped when I was 13, 14 years old and switched it up to basketball. But you know what's funny? A lot of people don't believe me. I throw 90 though. But you know, I'm gonna prove it though. I'm gonna show it one time. Briscoe, not even Briscoe believe me.
Hey, Isaiah, this is for you. WheatHotchkissPacers.com. You mentioned last night that when you worked out here, the Rick paid some individual attention to you. What did that mean to you to have not only a coach, but the head coach doing some individual work with you during that process?
I mean, I think it meant a lot to me. Just from after getting a workout, like just him just helping me with like shooting techniques and stuff. I feel like, I mean, that made me sort of, feel more comfortable, like, and sort of, in a way, like, let me know, like, that, the Pacers organization wants me, so.
Isaiah Cristaneri, Pacers TV. You played at Kentucky for Coach Cal. There have been so many successful NBA players that have come out of Kentucky. What did you learn in your year at Kentucky that you think will help you moving forward?
Just playing tough and bringing it all every night. I feel like that's something that I learned playing at Kentucky. Just coming out, just playing my brand of basketball pretty much, and just playing tough and playing hard.
Yeah, Chris, excuse all these background questions, but when did you become comfortable with English, and how did you learn?
So I had to learn when I came to the United States when I was 16, my first time, and then I came back when I was 17, almost 18. I really learned using Duolingo and just talking to my teammates. You know, I had to communicate. You know, I had to be able to talk. So, and I really felt comfortable. You know, when I got to Oregon. When I got to JUCO, you know, highest level in high school, and then, coach really didn't understand me a lot, so I really had to work and force myself.
Brad Brown from WRTV. Rick, a question for you. What was there in Isaiah that you saw that made you guys want to make a move to up the board to bring him here?
Well, a few things. First of all, I just want to acknowledge his family this year. His mom, D'Angela, dad, Wes, brother, Wes Jr., and Sam Rose is one of his other agents. So we appreciate you guys being here. Welcome. You know, we need to have an infusion of athleticism on this team. We need shot blocking. We really don't have a prototypical rim threat for lobs, and we need defensive versatility. And so, you know, when he worked out here and played here in the competitive part of it, he demonstrated a feel for the game that I thought was unique for a guy 6'9", 6'10", that had been playing center. You know, we believe that long term, that he has a great chance to develop into not only a five that can, you know, block shots, run, and do those kinds of things, but can also become a skilled four. It's going to take work. You know, one of the reasons I spent some time with him after the workout was to get a feel for, you know, how he could adapt to a couple of adjustments with his shot. You know, his role at Kentucky was more as a rim runner, rim threat. He wasn't on the perimeter that much. But in our game today, you're seeing now that the centers are shooting the ball from 30 feet. And so there's got to be a developmental path and a vision for a trajectory, you know, for a guy like him that has the feel and the tools. And so, you know, when we saw how the draft was going in the middle of the first round, we had picked up 31, and you know, Isaiah was one of the big guys that we really were looking at through the entire process, and it was a strong conversation at 13. And so, you know, Chad did a great job of working the phones and figuring out a way for us to get him here at 22. And you know, we feel with these two guys, they're two very young players, but they also have a unique level of experience. You know, Chris is 24, you know, and he's played at some different levels, and you know, all that's been well documented. Isaiah, are you 19 yet, or are you going to turn 19?
19.
He's 19. I mean, so 19 years old. I mean, can you remember what you were doing when you were 19 years old? Yeah, I mean, and so he's just got an amazing opportunity with an organization that believes, you know, in him and what he's been about and what he can become. And so, you know, this is a very exciting day. And he's by no means a finished product, but nor is Chris Duarte. You know, these guys are both going to get better and better.
Quick follow-up. Isaiah, you walked to the stage, you have a Lakers hat on at the start of the night, and this afternoon you're sitting here as a Pacer. Just talk about this last like 16 hours, how crazy it's been.
I mean, it's been real crazy. Andrew, my agent, he sort of like calmed me down a little bit, like telling me like Indiana's picking me up. But I mean, when it first happened, it was just a bottle of emotions that was going on. Like I didn't, like interviews, like I was scared to do my interviews because I didn't want them to say like something about the Lakers and I have to talk about them and I'm not going there. So it was just crazy. Like, so yeah.
Chad, this question is for you. Kevin talked about putting this deal together. You guys work all year long. You know at some point what the draft is going to play out, but how quickly did all this happen so that you guys could get Isaiah last night?
It happened very quickly. It was almost on the clock, to be honest with you, Chris. You know, we'd worked to get up to pick 31, which, you know, we wanted to continue to climb. We had targeted a couple of players that were falling. Isaiah looked like he might be able to be gettable if we could get to the right spot. And it was literally, the deal came on the clock. So we had to communicate to one team who we were drafting, and they had to communicate that to the other team. So we were thrilled to get it. You know, it's one of those moments where you look back, how did we get to this spot? You know, we started at 54 and 60, and we ended up at pick 22. So very exciting. Takes a lot of work. Other teams wanting to cooperate, but very thrilled to end up where we did and to land Isaiah.
Yeah, another question for Chris. I'm curious how your journey, you know, leaving the Dominican Republic, going to high school in New York, then going to junior college and going to Oregon, how much maybe that strengthened you as a person and as a player having to go that route?
It helped me a lot for sure. Everything I went through coming from the DR to the United States at a young age, you know, everything was different for me. Different food, different culture, different language. All that, you know, everything I went through my whole process, you know, it definitely helps.
Isaiah, do you have what we would call a comp in the NBA, somebody that you look at as a role model, either stylistically, physically? And if you do, what do you think you need to do as far as work in order to get to that level?
You talk about like now?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a number of players. Like one of, I mean, he's not in the league anymore, but one of the players, like role models that I look up to is Kevin Garnett. Like, and I feel like with the work that I'm going to like put in and continue to put in, like I feel like I can get to his level. Like I already got the defensive intensity, defense part, but the offensive part that like him shooting the ball, stretching the floor, running the floor, like doing those things, I feel like I can do it. So.
Hey, Chris, when did you start to think that the NBA was a possibility for you? And I don't know how many players there are from the Dominican Republic, but do you feel sort of a connection, you know, or a desire to, you know, show people that there are some players in the DR?
But everything happened when I got the chance to come to the United States and play against the top guys back in high school. That's when I realized that I have the potential to be in the league.
Isaiah, when you first found out that the Pacers were acquiring you, what did you think? And did any part of it think about your family and friends in Michigan and even people you met in Lexington, that you will be so close to so many people that are important to you?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I hold my family dearly, like, to my heart. So, I mean, just hearing that I was getting picked up, like, close to home, it just, I mean, put a smile on my face. Like, it was just, like I said, it was just a bottle of emotions that night. Like, it was crazy, but yeah.
Yeah, one more for Kevin. There's so many things that you guys like about Chris. What was kind of the one trait, though, that said, hey, we have to have this guy at number 13?
I think there's a couple things, not just one. We spoke to his college coach, Coach Altman, who we've had a great relationship over the years. He basically said he's the most competitive kid he's ever coached. And he's willing to do the work to become a great defensive player and an offensive player. On the court, so away from just sort of a psychological makeup of the competitiveness, I think on the court, is you're watching the finals and the semifinals, and there seems to be one trait that is getting elevated and more important every year, and that is, can you break a guy down off the dribble and elevate and shoot? And he's elite at that. Like, some of his analytics and his field goal percentages are off the charts, and so he's a shot maker. He's a shot creator, but he's also a shot maker. And you know, as this game is changing right before our eyes, you know, that's one of the most important things that we need, is guys that can create, not only for themselves but for others, but then be able to rise up and shoot over people.
Yeah, a question for Isaiah. You know, Kentucky has, produced countless pros over the last decade. I'm curious what you got out of your year there, the development piece, and playing under Coach Calipari and his staff.
I mean, wait, can you repeat that question again? I'm sorry.
Just what you got out of your year in Kentucky, playing in that environment, program that's produced a number of pros.
I mean, I think I got a lot. Just the experience being at Kentucky was just crazy. Like, it was a dream school of mine, and it was just a crazy year for me. I mean, I enjoyed my time there. I mean, I learned a lot on and off the court. Like, some of the things, like off the court, like sleeping habits, like take care of your body, things like that, and like routine, just having the same routine every day, like from start to finish type thing, and just getting through the day. So.